What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Another 3 points in the bag this season. 100% win rate, 0 goals conceded. But that doesn't really paint the picture of what happened on that pitch today. I think it was a very, very hard-fought victory. I mean, Wolves were peppering us pretty much for the 90 minutes today. But I think there were some good moments in there from Spurs. There were some bad moments as well, which we'll get into. I can't wait to hear all your opinions, and I want to see all your smiling faces. But Sim, how did you break down that game today?
Yeah, we struggled for large parts, I must say. We were backs against the wall. Wolves were playing really good stuff.
Backs against the Wolves.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to say Wolves were really effective. I was very impressed with them. The way Neves and Moutinho were able to control the game, their switches of play, so accurate, so quick, on point, planned, efficient. The way they used the wings in Traore and Marçal up on that left-hand side every single time he was in space. Traore, you just know what you're going to get with him. You're never going to be able to get the ball off him. And he was a thorn in the Tottenham side pretty much every single time he got the ball. He was hard to deal with. And you know what? They did extremely well in pretty much up until the final third. They did extremely well. Yeah. And then when it got to the final third, they didn't have that killer instinct, I felt, apart from the one time they played it through to Traore, who should have scored in that one-on-one. They never really created anything substantial, which is, I would say, a fault of Wolves, and it's also good from the Tottenham back line, not necessarily the midfielders, but I think the back line, you've got to give them credit with the amount of blocks they were able to get, the interceptions they were able to do, and you've got to give Spurs credit for the amount of pressure they were put under to restrict Wolves to one clear-cut chance pretty much the whole game was one good thing, I would say, but I was very worried about how much control pretty much Wolves had throughout most of the game.
But the thing is, for all their control, for all their dominance, for all the times that they were like beating us in midfield and like Adama Traore was terrorising Japhet Tanganga, for all of that, we still had the better chances today.
That's the truth. So that's one positive. That's the positive to take away from it. But and it's just worrying that the amount of time Spurs had the ball and just going long all the time, not able to find any solutions to get around the Wolves midfield and the back line. The way they were able to snuff us out so efficiently, and we had no real answer to it other than on a counter attack. That's the only real answer we had. Yeah. So that's something we've got to work on. It's something that I think fans would have complained about last season under Mourinho. So in terms of that, I think it's still things to work on. But you look,
for sure. Look, at the end of the day, it's only the second game of Nuno's tenure.
Of course, and 2 wins out of 2, a hard-fought, ground-out victory, 2 tough games out of the way as well. It's positive. 2 clean sheets as well. So that's really good, and 2 clean sheets with Dyer and Sanchez starting. So that's definitely a positive. Harry Kane getting on the pitch, and I think he looked good, and I think Spurs looked a lot better when Harry Kane was on the pitch as well. So I think that's also positive, getting more involved, and hopefully it seems it's more likely than not now for sure he's going to be here beyond the end of the window. I don't think if the deal was anywhere close, he would be involved.
No, I agree, and the fans treating him well today. Harry Kane going over to the fans as well and accepting their applause. So look, I think Harry Kane will be here for the remainder of the season now. I do believe that. Yeah,
so it's going to be a very busy week, hopefully, for Tottenham. I'm hoping so still.
You would hope so.
I'd hope so.
I wouldn't hold my breath, to be honest.
Only because I'm seeing on the bench, not many options. I know who was injured. I know Ndombele's not in the squad because he wants to leave. I know Rodon's injured. Romero's injured. But when you look at attacking options, who did we have to bring on? We brought on Lo Celso. Like, I know Kane came on, but like Gil wasn't used. There just seemed to be something missing from the bench in terms of someone who could really make an impact, apart from obviously Harry Kane, who hopefully won't be a bench player for more time. So I think there's still a lot to work on. But look, Nuno, after a tough start, he's had a tough summer as well. Can't forget that. Came in late. The whole kerfuffle with the manager search. Yeah. He was playing catch-up. But he's got 2 wins out of 2, so, can't complain about that.
2 very hard games, let's be said. This is Man City at home and Wolves away. Two of the hardest games you can get in the Premier League.
You would have taken 4 points if you offered it before the start of the season.
Yeah.
And 6 is a very good start.
Yeah, 100%. And, we go on to, like, easier games. Don't want to disrespect them, but easier games as the first 2 games. Watford at home and Crystal Palace away, which, like, before the season you would expected 6 points from those 2 games, wouldn't you?
Definitely, and we expect them now, and it'll be disappointing anything other than 6 points. If we're serious about challenging for anything more than top 5 or top 6, we need 6 points. No doubt about it. We need 6 points in those 2 games. You can't afford to be dropping more points. So let's see how it all plays out, I guess. But look, great start. 6 points out of 6. You can't complain about it.
Exactly, and 0 goals conceded as well. But let's start bringing on some guests, and let's start off with Wes the King, taking Grandpa's spot once again. Wes, how you doing, mate?
Guys.
Yeah, all good. I think you got a bit of a lag on your internet there, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously, 1-0 win today at the Molineux. How did you assess our performance today?
I think it was probably more like a Mourinho type last season type game. It was more of a smash and grab to me. That was iffy penalty to me, but hey, we got it. He did leave his foot there a little bit for the goalkeeper to trip him, but hey, it worked and we got the goal, so I take it. Our defending was actually, I say, it was pretty good. Sanchez and Dyer, they did what they had to do. Dyer only had like one mistake in him, but it was kind of off a positive because he intercepted the ball, but then he lost it trying to do a move because he's slow as Christmas. But but ended up paying, and that ended up leading them to get like a clear chance. But luckily, I say the man of the match go to, of course, Lloris.
Yeah.
He was pretty much, he's the reason we didn't get no goals conceded at all. And, we got 2 clean sheets in the first 2 games. That's always positive.
Yeah, was it a bit worrying though, the amount of control we gave up to Wolves throughout the game, and despite them not creating too many chances, or clear-cut chances.
Lukaku!
It's 1-0 to Chelsea.
1-0 up from Romelu Lukaku.
Chelsea have scored there, 1-0 up. Lukaku on his debut 15 minutes in. So Chelsea have taken the lead at Stamford, at the Emirates. It's 1-0, so there you go. So coming back to the question, in terms of general play, did it worry you, or did you expect a tough game like that away at Wolves?
Actually, I wasn't expecting that much of them having that much possession. I thought we were going to have a little bit more possession, or at least it'd be a little bit evened out. I was kind of surprised that we had most of our players back, and it looked like we were going off the counter because of how much possession they were actually keeping up of. So we got to give credit to Wolves for keeping possession, but luckily they weren't able to do anything with it. We were. One thing that bothered me, we just kept on letting balls go back into our box every single time. Nobody was going after the second ball. Felt like we were too slow, trying to come up to the trying to come up to the attacker. We were too slow to get there. We were too slow to second chance balls. Our heading was all right. We didn't really like our. It's kind of, the corners kind of scared me too, because the way they were just they kept on getting into the box every single time, and we just wouldn't actually make a run with it. And our passing was off. One player that surprised the heck out of me, who played kind of like real bad, was Lucas Moura. He wasn't. Seemed like something was wrong with him. He had either he had like a leg injury, I don't know. And then also the right back, also Tanganga. He like after that hit he got into with the concussion, it looked like he kind of was like bear for wear pretty much. And those 2 players kind of surprised me how bad they kind of played, but we were able to get the win, so that's what I can take. And Son too, he was kind of surprising too. He wasn't really on it either.
Do you think with Heung-min Son he was playing with an injury? Because there was before the game, apparently he did go down the tunnel with a physio. Do you think Son was playing with a bit of an injury?
Probably, but you couldn't tell with that one run he made.
Yeah,
that one he made when he was 1-on-1 with that goalkeeper. If he just went in and shot that like last year, that would have been automatic 2-0.
Exactly.
But he didn't look like it that way. He didn't look at it that one.
One player I want to talk to you about, Wes, is Dele Alli. Obviously, 2 games now in this deeper role he's playing in, which he's not very used to. I thought there were some hot and cold moments from him today, but what did you make out of his performance, and how do you think he is kind of acclimatizing to that role now?
I think he's actually doing pretty well. He's playing a different role, so he's not able to get up to the attacking third like he wants to and with the pace he really wants to. But I think sometimes he was a little bit too slow with his reactions, too slow to make a decision. If he makes quicker decisions and just know where his teammates are, I think he'll have better chances, and probably better chances in the final third also. He keeps on going for those spectacular dribble moves, the through balls and everything, through the legs and everything, nutmeg. I think he needs to kind of stop that a little bit, be a little bit more straightforward, just a little bit. He can do that at times to try to get the defender off, but I think he does it too much, and we just end up losing the ball in like the wrong area. But other than that, his work rate was pretty good. His work was pretty good for the position he's playing now.
Completely
He's
agree.
definitely playing a lot better. I know that. He done grown back into the team.
Yeah, he looks a lot more fitter, in my opinion, as well. Just non-stop running, non-stop putting himself about. I mean, the amount of blocks and challenges he put in today, absolutely unbelievable, I thought, from Delhi.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But finally, whereas Harry Kane came on with 20 minutes to go. What do you think of the showing he put for those 20 minutes? And do you think him being involved in the squad today and coming on the pitch is a sign that maybe he is going to be here beyond the deadline now?
I think so, because I never thought he was going. I never thought he was going to get the 150 that we were asking for anyway. If Manchester City was really serious about it, they would have put down 160. They were really serious about it, but they kind of always went for 20 plus bonuses and all that. So I don't think they were really serious. They went after the Aston Villa player, but 400 mil. But I don't think they were ever too serious, because they would have offered some gigantic that we just couldn't refuse. They were really serious. So I always thought he was going to stay at least one more year, maybe. In the 20 minutes he came on, he actually played very well. He was running back. He was attacking the back line. And right when he got on, our attacking did get a little bit better. It did get a lot better. He was able to. It seemed like it was a lot more fluid. They had somebody to really pass the ball to in certain areas, and he had like a good 3 chances that we could have scored on. 3 or 4 chances, really. 3 or 4 chances.
Okay.
All right, Wes, always a pleasure having you on, my friend, and we'll see you next time.
Nice one, Wes.
Yep,
Good to see you, my
first.
friend.
Come on!
Come on, Wes. Big up.
Big up,
Love it.
Wes the King. And if you missed it, Lukaku has put Chelsea 1-0 up inside the first, I think it was 16 minutes at the Emirates. So that is not boding well for Arsenal so far.
Not at the moment.
And Lukaku has already opened his account for Chelsea. And without further ado, let's get THFC Rant's Will Stewart on. Will, how's it going, mate?
Good. What's going on, fellas? What's going on? We've got top 4. Stop the count. Let's wrap it up.
Stop the
William.
count. Stop the count. But, we did win 1-0 today. 2 1-0 wins in a row, first 2 games of the season. No goals conceded. But it wasn't all plain sailing today, was it?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, it was attacking-wise. Even last week's match, I have a little bit of concern. I don't see where a lot of opportunities are coming. I mean, even last week, the only opportunities was a couple from Son, that one chance from Bergwijn. And today, again, it was the opportunities were very far and few between. But the defense, I thought, while they were shaky at times overall, over the 90 minutes, did a fairly decent job. So, if we got to grind them out, we grind them out. But I mean, right now, starting off, 6 points in the bag. I don't remember the last time we won the first 2 matches of the year. So,
Yeah, so you touched on it there, lack of maybe ability to properly create chances. Is it more that in possession we seem to go long all the time, and that's kind of, we don't really seem to create any proper opportunities until we have a counter attack, and that's kind of what we're relying on. Is that a worry for you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, what it seems like is anytime the ball tries to go into the midfield in order to build up play, we end up giving it away, or it gets taken from us, or we play a bad pass and we lose possession. So right now, the only opportunities we are getting are coming from over the top. So that is definitely concerning. I think that there's we need, our first team needed a lot of work this summer, and we still have 9 days left or whatever, but. We definitely need some help in that area for sure.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the Spurs players today, who really stood out for you in terms of their performance?
I wouldn't say that there was. I thought that Dele Alli had a pretty decent match. Defensively, he was working hard back and forth, running his butt off. Sergio Reguilon, while Traore made him look silly sometimes, I think he had a pretty solid game. He was getting in there. Skip played really well for the most part. Not so much offensively, but defensively. Tanganga, again, was being a boss at right back. I mean, those are the players that I'd have to give big ups to today, simply for the fact that they worked hard and kept Wolves out under the pressure that we were under. I mean, it is disappointing that we should be, only having around 42% of the ball against Wolves. But, yeah, I mean, hey, win's a win, right?
Do you think if that game was last season under Jose Mourinho, with the fitness we had last season, we still come away with the 3 points?
Probably not. No, I think that's the only difference. Like even towards, I wasn't as nervous, especially after last week. I wasn't as nervous this week rolling into the last 10 minutes, even though they were putting a lot of pressure on us. And I didn't really see. Wolves have always kind of been that way. They don't have a lot of quality. If it would have been a team like Chelsea or something like that, we probably would have conceded. Yeah. But I mean, Wolves had 6 shots on target, but they had like 25 shots. So I mean, yeah, they were getting a lot of opportunities, but they weren't necessarily clear chances. So with Wolves, I wasn't too worried. Another team, a top 6 team, I would have definitely been worried. So.
Will, we've been heavily linked with a move for Adama Traore before the end of the window. Looking at what you saw today, how he caused us so much trouble, is that a transfer you're looking to happen, or do you think the fact that he didn't really get a goal today shows really what Adama Traore is all about?
I think Adama Traore is really good on the ball, and he can cause problems for defenses. He can cause them to scramble, but I really don't think he has any end product. I mean, that he should have had that goal where he was in on goal with it was just him and Lloris. It kind of reminds me about like Bergwijn, to be honest with you. So I mean, would it be a bad addition to the right hand side? I don't think it would be horrible, but is it something that I think is really going to benefit? Is he the right winger that I would want in order to see replace Gareth Bale's goals from last season? Probably not.
Yeah, I take your point. But yeah, he did give Tanganga a really rough ride today, didn't he? Really, really rough ride. But we came out the other end. So 6 points out of 6, the start of the season. Has the way we've played kind of maybe changed anyone's expectations yet? Or is it kind of, we've got 2 1-0 wins, but still a lot of work to do?
Definitely, we still have a lot of work to do, right? I mean, you can't be negative when it's when we won the first 2 matches of the year, but you can still be realistic and say, yeah, we've worked hard to get those 6 points, but there's still work that needs to be done, especially in the attacking side. I think the defense looks a lot more secure, which is I think they're playing with more energy and more intensity, trying to get to loose balls, marking each other well, covering each other well. I think Nuno's done a good job with them. Wolves had the same problem under him as well, as really creating chances consistently. So that is something that concerns me a little bit. But I mean, for the most part, right now you can't complain, but yet you can still say, there's still a lot to be done, especially on the attacking side of the game.
All right, Will. Great to have you back on the channel, my friend, and we shall see you soon, I'm sure.
All right, you guys have a great one.
And
you too. Have a good day
later. That was THFC Rants. Will Stewart. Everyone go and subscribe to his channel. Great Spurs content. Next up is Brad Hotspur.
Yes, bring on Brad.
How's it going, mate?
Come on, Brad.
How you doing, guys? All right?
Yes, all smiles after another 3 points today. But I tell you the truth, I wasn't smiling throughout the game. I was very, very stressed. I mean, what were your stress levels like during the game?
Yeah, no, the stress was it was uncomfortable watch.
I'm guessing, Brad, you've just come back from behind the couch just now.
It was very much that. I mean, I managed to get it on a Twitter stream, so I managed to watch it in relative comfort. But it was an uncomfortable watch. But 2 wins, 2 clean sheets. And there's nothing to get. But there'll be times this season when we'll lose, and I'll be really, really annoyed. So why should I be annoyed when we've won? Although, as Will was saying, I'm realistic to know that there's a lot of work to be done there. A lot of work to be done. I thought we gave them too much possession. We knew that Wolves were going to come at us, but when we get the ball back, let's keep it for a bit. Take the pressure off. We seem to, certainly in the first half, concede possession and the second ball and that sort of thing. But we stuck at it. And when you look at the second half, Traore had that chance, which he should have scored. But they didn't really have any other top chances. Whereas we probably had 3 or 4 chances where we could have sewn up the game. So in that respect, I'm quite pleased. But no, there's a lot of work to be done there. We know that. The Traore chance was down to Dyer's mistake.
Yeah.
Although I thought Darren Sanchez, after a shaky start, actually got down and didn't do too bad. But we kept at it. We kept at it, and won ugly, as the old cliche goes.
You say Wolves didn't have that many chances, which are right, they didn't. But do you put that down to Wolves being 2-2 to the final third, or do you put that down to how we defended today?
I mean, a bit of both. Some of Wolves' selections weren't that good, but then I thought we managed to defend. Yeah, we gave the possession away in the midfield, but we managed to defend and keep them out of the box and defend reasonably well in the box. And they were, restricted to having shots from outside the box, which, 9 times out of 10 aren't going to go in. So, I thought in that respect, yeah, they had lots of shots, but they were from outside the box, and we didn't give them any. I can't remember any clear headers they had from set pieces. Maybe I think there was one that went miles over the bar. But, I think that we sort of defended fairly resolutely in there. But again, it's, we need to improve. And that's the good thing about it. We've won 2 out of 2, but we know that there's improvement. So,
Brad, let me ask you this. Obviously, everyone's praising the midfield 3 at the moment. With Skip, Højbjerg and Dele, with the amount of hard work they're putting in and how difficult they're making it for the opposition. But, the amount of time Spurs on the ball were forced to go long without any kind of ability to retain the ball in possession and maybe play through a press. Do you think that midfield 3, as much as they're very solid and give us a very good base, is there enough quality on the ball there to really face very, very good quality teams like Wolves today on the ball and ability to turn and beat pressure and stuff like that?
We definitely need someone, as you say, to hold on to the ball and keep the ball and dictate things in the middle. They do work hard. Højbjerg, Skip, and Dele Alli, they all work hard. The second ball, as I said, we seem to concede a lot today. We didn't win the second ball, but yeah, we do need someone just to calm it down, just to sort of put their foot on the ball. So yeah, we do need players, and it's gonna be a different fit for each game. Each team we play there's gonna be a different fit for it. I thought against Man City, we knew that they were gonna have a lot of possession, so we knew that we had to have hard-working midfield that would win the ball back. Today, you expected balls to come at us, in the early part, which they did, but then you think, well, no, we should at some stage control the game, and we're out. We have 3 midfield to there too. So we should really have controlled the game more. So yeah, but Sim, I do agree. We do need some sort of certainly cover. We certainly need some players in there, because that midfield 3, they're good, but if you take one of them out, what have you got? You haven't really got a lot to bring on. So yeah, we do need a little bit of support in there, and also so you can vary your game when you come up against these sort of teams.
Do you think maybe the man to kind of solve the problems could be a Giovanni Lo Celso?
He doesn't strike me as that sort of player to me. I think he's more of a forward, and he puts in, he tackles back, but I think I think he'd be better further up front. I really do. I don't think. I mean, he came on today, didn't he, for Bergwijn, didn't he? I mean, whether that's because Bergwijn was tired, because he puts a lot of effort in, but yeah, I'm not so sure that Lo Celso would fulfil that role. To be honest, I don't really know what's out there at the moment to come in and do that. But yeah, certainly we need someone in that midfield that can control the midfield, and so we don't have to completely or continuously concede to the team that are attacking us. If we get rid of the ball, then they come back at us. And today we played the long ball quite a lot, which you don't see the point if you haven't got a big striker up there to hold on to it. But at the same time, we still looked threatening when we actually got on the break. When we actually had the movements forward. So it's a bit of both. I mean, it's a bit of it's like a balancing act. Get the balance right, and I'm sure Nuno is still working on this. It's 2 games in. He's been there 6 weeks, and to be honest, my earlier prediction of having a hard start, well, we've won our first 2 games. So if we can have a good start, I'm sure in the second half of the season we'll fly. So if we get this good start, then yeah, who knows what we can do? But yeah, there's still work to be done there, definitely.
Yeah, completely agree. But Brad, absolute pleasure as always, my friend, and we'll see you next time.
Nice
Onwards and upwards, Brad. Come you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Cheers, mate.
Someone to dictate the play, maybe like a Ruben Neves. He looked good today, didn't he?
He did look good today. He did.
And also, here's a little one for you. Last time we opened the campaign with 2 1-0 consecutive 1-0 wins.
What, 61?
No.
When?
Unfortunately, it's not that good of an omen.
When?
AVB second season.
Why is that a good omen?
Not a good omen.
Oh, not a good omen.
Sold 2 Soldado penalties.
Yeah, I thought we might have said the Jack Santini reign because
No.
we didn't concede for like the first 5 or 6 games that season, did
And
we?
also that summer we sold Bale. Could
Yeah.
be selling Kane.
Could be. Not selling it, though.
True. Maybe it's different. Maybe that's going to be the difference.
Yeah, we've got a super chat here from Harry the Boss saying, "What a shit performance! Much needed to be improved." The thing is, I don't think it was the shittest performance. I think we've seen a lot worse. I don't think it was a shit performance. I just think Wolves were really good today.
Wolves were class.
I think Wolves were class.
I think we
today.
defended well, but I think in terms of what I'm worried about,
we didn't get the ball on the deck and like pass it around Wolves
Yeah.
and have loads of possession. Fair enough, but I think when we did have the ball and we tried to do attacking motions, I thought we were really good.
yeah, on the break we looked good in transition.
Yeah.
That was positive. But I would say it's very similar to what we saw last season. That's what I would say. And I think a lot of times we were too deep, like last season.
Yeah, we were.
And I think and a few times we're just not even attempt. I think a lot of it is, I think defensively, compactly, Skip Højbjerg and Dele did well. But I think on the ball, when we had possession and they were to show for the ball and on a half turn and create space, they weren't doing that job today, and that's what disappointed me.
I think the main thing with that is that just Dele just dilly-dallies on the ball for too long and takes too long to make a decision. If he could up his decision-making time, I think it would have changed the world of good today.
No, I think for me is I think the team. Oh, one sec, Chelsea are in again here, and it's 2-0. Reece James. Reece James has fired it into the back of the net. Chelsea are 2 goals to the good at the Emirates.
Down.
And it's a horrific start. Are they bottom of the league now? They must be.
Aaron Ramsdale joins Chesterfield. Chesterfield get relegated. Aaron Ramsdale.
He signed yesterday. Ramsdale.
Aaron Ramsdale joins whoever it was. They get relegated. Sheffield United, they get relegated. And now he's joined the filth down the road.
Oh, he's lucky Norwich had 2 games against Liverpool and City because they're rock bottom at the moment. But one more goal and Arsenal going to 19th. Loving it.
Shame about the Arsenal.
Love it. It's a quality finish by Reece James. Look at that.
34
Battered
minutes
it.
gone at the Emirates. Arsenal are 2-0 down.
Oh, he's battered that into the top corner, hasn't he? Absolutely battered that.
Look, there's someone with a massive smile on their face in their back end. We got to get him on. His name is the Irish Hotspur. I'm sure you all know him by now. Dave, how you doing, mate?
If you don't know him by now.
You're buzzing, yeah?
I'm absolutely buzzing. Look, what I will say to people is, I get it. Look, maybe possession-wise we weren't the best, but look, when was the last time we had 2 back-to-back victories to sit here and be joyous about? You know, look, we got the first 6 fixtures. Most of us would have said, okay, after the first 6 fixtures, our season kind of kicks into gear. Well, it's already kicked into gear after the first 2. We've beaten City, beaten Wolves away. You're not going to get much of a harder test in the Premier League than Wolves away. They've always been tight affairs with Wolves anyway. And we've beaten City. You know, we beat them with just pure aggression. What more do you want? It's a good start to the season.
Yeah, 100%. In terms of the performance today, who really stood out for you on that pitch?
Look, I have to give props to Dele Alli, to be honest with you. I actually think he was man of the match. Especially in the second half, he was getting back in and around the box and making some great challenges, something I never ever thought I'd see from Dele Alli. But look, I suppose he's always had it in him, because when he first came to the club, he was playing in that sort of deeper role under Pochettino. But look, he's definitely got his act together and his ass in gear, and you know, he's definitely the training that he went out to Dubai to do is definitely paid off, and it's working wonders for us. But is he still that sort of midfielder that we need, you know, to be able to get on the ball and look after the ball? I still think he needs to cut out some of these flicks and loose touches if he can cut that out. But look, again, he can be a box to box. You can play a Højbjerg or a Skip and maybe get a different option of someone that can definitely dictate the tempo to play in that midfield. I think that could come back to haunt us if we don't get that sorted in the transfer market. I firmly believe we're just going to have to be very, very aggressive against everyone we come up against and make ourselves horrible to play against.
Just before we ask you the next question, we've got a super chat here from Keith D. And he says, sorry, guys, I need a good laugh. I have to switch over and go watch AFTV. But Keith, don't you worry about that. We won't hold it against you this time. You pop over and go watch it. And maybe send us in some clips. We'll try and get it on the show as well.
Open a new tab.
Yeah, open 2 tabs. You know what I mean?
Exactly. The wonders of the modern internet. You can all open 2 tabs and watch us both at the same time.
I send in a super chat, lads, to bait that Thai lad. Sending in a super chat. Get him clipped again.
100%.
David, two wins out, two clean sheets, both with Dyer and Sanchez at the back in the back line. Is there any sort of rethink for you yet as to how if they can be part of the squad for the season?
Look, we were very ropey today, I'll be honest with you, especially Sanchez in the first half. With Traore running down that side between him and Tanganga, it happened an awful lot. Look, the main thing is we held out. Last year we would have crumbled. I do believe fitness has played a massive part in that. But with Dyer and Sanchez going forward, look, I just hope Romero can come in and hit the ground running. I do think we'll definitely heavily rely on him and need him. It's just about who partners him. And again, look, I'll be honest with you, Dyer played well up until October, November last season. And, then he went to pot. The thing is, we know with Dyer and Sanchez, they're prone to mistakes. What we criticised Sanchez for before is the balls over the top, balls in behind him. Again, struggled with that today. Look, I definitely think the home crowd may have helped them last week. And maybe it is a bit of a cause for concern. But look, for me, I think to finish off this window, we need 3 players. We need a right back. And that's because Tanganga, he does have a history of injuries, so we need to fill that in. We can't rely on Doherty and Aurier. We definitely need another centre back in. I would like to get in another centre back, but look, maybe when Joe Rodon comes back, he can fill that void in beside Romero. A bit of consistency there, and I definitely think we need that sort of ball playing midfielder. That's someone that gives us a bit of calm on the ball. But I do want to say a big mention to Harry Kane today, and let me tell you why. Look, first of all, it's great to see him back in his Spurs shirt. Great to see him out there. But I actually thought when he came on, he kind of changed the course of the game a little. He was dropping deep, picking up the ball, getting some silky touches in, and getting us up the field. And we created another couple of opportunities. We have to remember, this guy had the most assists and most goals last season. You're taking that out of a team. We were after beating City and Wolves without that in the team. And with Harry Kane coming back in, it gives us that focal point because, look, although Sonny was carrying an injury, all know he went off before down the tunnel before the game, and he had strapping on the back of his leg when he was coming off. But the thing is, I just felt we missed that someone that we could put the ball over the top to, hold it up and bring others into play. And when Harry Kane came on, he done that. And just to everyone, that maybe thinks he's not dedicated, I can tell you he is. He was pressing hard there today as well and fighting for the cause. And I think he's going to stay now, and he's definitely going to be a good option going forward this season. Get the assist back in, get the goals back in, put Sonny out on the left, keep Lucas out on the right, maybe rotate him with a bit of Stevie B. I think we can get top 4. I definitely think we can get top 4. We're moving nicely, and we're only two games into the season, and we're already 6 points up. Arsenal are on 0 points, and it looks like they could be going down. This could be an absolute roller coaster of a season. Strap in. It's going to be a good one.
But Dave, one player before I let you go, I want to talk to you about is Steven Bergwijn, because we've had enough conversations about Steven Bergwijn. I'm pretty much constantly in support of Steven Bergwijn. But what did you make out of his performance today?
Do you know what? I actually think he had a good performance. He done a hell of a lot of running. He done a hell of a lot of running, a hell of a lot of work. The only thing that annoyed me was that ball across the 6-yard box to Dele Alli. The thing is, he missed a big chance against City.
Wasn't that offside? Was that offside anyway?
No, come on now. I think you're clutching at straws, Benji. Yeah. But no, look, it was just a bit behind Dele Alli. Look, maybe Dele Alli could have put himself in a better position. He was kind of just expecting to run on and tap it in. If Harry Kane was there, he probably would have opened up his body and it would have went by him. But look, it's things like that he just needs to execute. That is my problem with him. It's just them sort of final touches. And look, I think that was poor. But overall, I think he had a good game and he caused Wolves a lot of problems today. A lot of problems on the break as well. And look, I actually hope the guy makes it. I hope he does well at Tottenham Hotspur. But again, it's just the little end product. But look, that's just me being picky. That's me being picky. But he had a good game, I have to say. Look, and credit where credit's due. I've criticised a lot of these players. They've come out at the start of this season. Maybe they have been listening because they've been firing so far. 6 points. Look, it's 2 games, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets. What more do you want? And I just think Nuno is working the best with what he's got. I heard you ask a couple of other people just about maybe the lack of creativity, and we are a bit counter-attacking. But for me, I do think Nuno is working the best with what he's got. Add Harry Kane back in, that might relieve it a little. But look, I do think he needs help in the transfer window.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with you there.
I agree.
Definitely agree with you there.
100% there.
And I think it's important we don't get distracted with a couple of wins if we don't get some serious business done in the last week, or a lot of movement, because there's still so much up in the air in terms of people who are here who want to leave, positions that need filling, that an urgent need of filling, and I just don't want us to think just because of 2 wins we're ready for the season, because I don't think we are yet.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it bodes well. We're not ready for the season, and we've won 2 games on the trot. Man City and Wolves away, you know what I mean? It's not like they're easy games, are they, David?
No, they're not easy games. Look, at the end of the day, if we would have said we would have took 3 points from the first 2 games, maybe a win against Wolves, you would have took it. The fact that we've bet City, we've come off a very hard game where we had to put in a lot of energy, a lot of focus, a lot of intensity. Okay, I was maybe expecting to see more of it today, but in another way, we were dogged. We went to Wolves, we got the 3 points. Look, Wolves are a bit of an unknown quantity right now under Bruno Lage. And as well, watching Wolves last week, they actually slapped Leicester about the place. They had like 17 shots. They just couldn't finish. It was much like today. They had Usain Bolt out on the wing just like today. He does absolutely not. And the reason why I call him Usain Bolt, because he is only full of pace. With the baby oil, I swear to God, that guy thinks he's playing slip and slide or something like that. But look, what I will say to people is sometimes these are the best victories to enjoy. They're the best victories to enjoy, because look, you may as well have just walked into their house, made a sandwich, ate it, take a dump in the living room floor and walk back out again. These are the best victories. Sit back and absolutely enjoy this one and roll on the next one. I think it's Watford next. Well, Pacos to Ferreira during the week. Watford next. Go into the international break with 9 points. No one can be complaining. We're Tottenham Hotspur. And we're back, boys. We're back.
Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave. Big up yourself.
The confidence.
We'll see you all back here for the pump up on Thursday before the game. Big up yourself, David, for today's pump up. And thank you so much for coming on once again.
No, look, I have to do the pump up, and then I have to enjoy the match, and then I have to do a warm down. Come on, you
come on.
Love it, David.
Big up, David Harris, of course, once again.
Can we look at the phone quickly? Is that possible? Is it showing? No, it's not. That's not what I've got. Let me 1 sec. I've reconnected it. Is it there? Can you see it?
No.
No, it's not what it is. Well, all I want to show is Harry Kane has done a post-match message saying brilliant battling win today, which he didn't do last week.
That's because he didn't have that PR team behind him last week.
So is this a sign of more signs of him potentially?
Yeah, like I keep saying, I think he's staying, and I've been saying that for the past week now, and I think, like I keep saying, I think it's too much of a hard deal to do right now.
As I'm saying, all these messages he's coming out, this is all pointing towards one thing.
Harry Kane must feel let down by Man City. He must do.
Yeah, they never stumped up, did they?
For all the kind of twerking he did from them, from that Gary Neville interview all the way till now, pretty much. And all this stuff that Pep's coming out with, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Just stump up the money. When Jack Grealish had a release clause, they didn't think twice to stump up for it.
And Kane's a much better player than Grealish, so it doesn't make sense to me.
They do not deserve him.
Looks like Kane, and he did post a picture of him in front of clapping the fans as well with that post. So looks like signs are pointing towards Kane being here at the end of next season and end of the summer. I mean,
all right, let's bring on the next guest, Rijan Bresnica. Did I say that right?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but did I say your name right?
It's Ryan.
Ryan?
Yeah. It's just I'm Slovakian, so it's a different spelling.
Okay, the Slovakian version of Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Yeah, good, thanks. Obviously, a very hard-fought victory today. Wolves played very well. How did you assess the performance today?
I think every season, Wolves away is a really difficult game. I think,
yeah.
They always bring the game to us. We never really bring it to them. And they've always got the 12th man in the crowd that's always pushing them on. And for some reason, they seem to be able to hold us back the entire game and keep pressing us. And Adama Traore is an absolute animal. Like what he did to Tanganga today at the beginning of the game was like he was putting him on the floor. And then the point in the game at the beginning when Sanchez and Tanganga they were pressing him down, and he just tapped it through Tanganga's legs and won a foul. And I was just thinking of Sim and how he's saying he doesn't want him at Spurs, and I was like wow, he's incredible. But then after I saw his miss at the end, the 1v1, and I was like, yeah, he's right. He's got no end product.
Imagine if he did have end product today. How much trouble would we have been in?
If he had an end product, we could have lost a lot. Like there was another point at the beginning of the game where he ran down the line on the near post, he cut in and he shot and it went off for a throw.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if that was Son, that is going top right corner 9 out of 10 times. And it was crazy. But he's so good at what he does. Just the running, and he's so strong on the ball. He's a great player, just no end product, sadly.
Yeah, in terms of how the game went generally, obviously we won 1-0, but obviously we kind of struggled to take control of the game. Why do you think we was the cause of that?
I'm not. Well, to be honest, Wolves, they have this really, like, especially on this new manager, they have a really strong system of, it's kind of like a press, and then we get outrun in the midfield, even though we were playing a 3. It's quite difficult to, especially now that Dele Alli is playing a bit deeper, we haven't really got a creative outlet, which I think is the one position that Spurs should step up a lot of money for, because we Spurs always sign these wingers that are versatile, that could be creative, but we never really signed, since Eriksen, we haven't really signed a proper proper attacking midfielder that can slot in the balls to Harry Kane and to the wingers. We always just have a Lo Celso, a Dele Alli, and Ndombele, who are deep-lying playmakers, but it just doesn't seem to do the job right now. And then we have to rely on the outlets of Bergwijn and Son to supply Harry Kane in the middle. And one more thing about Bergwijn is he did this nice little skill move on the sidelines. He did like a ball roll and he cut in. And I was so shocked. Like, he surprised me so much the last 2 games. Like, he's been so much better than he was last season, and it's just surprised me a lot, and I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, I mean, there was a good performance in there from Bergwijn, but what was it about Lucas Moura today?
I'm not too sure. Lucas Moura kind of just went a bit missing today. This is the thing about Lucas Moura, is he'll have an amazing game, and then the next game he'll be a ghost. And it's quite strange because during preseason he's been consistent the entire time. He was involved in so many goals. He's had a great preseason, had a great game last week. I was there, by the way. It was a great game, great atmosphere.
Great atmosphere.
And for some reason, he just seems to be doing this, where he just goes missing. But I'm sure that within the next 2 games, we'll see him back to his best. Like, it's just really strange. He needs to find the consistency to be starting every single week. Otherwise, there are other players that can play in this position. If we were to bring in a Cam, for example, Bergwijn or Son on the right or the left, and Harry Kane as the main striker.
And finally, with Romero injured today and him obviously coming back to fitness over the next week or so, when he does come back in, who would you want to see partner him? Would it be a Dyer or a Sanchez?
To be honest,
Rodon.
Or Rodon, yeah. I think Sanchez and Dyer were great. I think there was one shaky moment today with Dyer. It was before the 1-1. He took it out and he started dribbling around in the midfield. He lost the ball and they slotted it through, which was a great ball, by the way, from Cody. I think if any of them is to go, I think it has to be Eric Dyer, just because I think he's a bit too slow in centre-back, especially of how we want to play, if we're going to try and play on the attacking foot. I think Eric Dyer, but the thing about Eric Dyer is he's so good in the box. Like, people can be whipping it in, and he's so good aerially, and he's a big defender. And I think that's really good. I think that's really strong for Spurs. So, but I do think Eric Dyer would have to go for Romero, especially if Romero gets to his best. He was a bit shaky against in the Conference League, but I'm sure it's just a bit of fatigue because he was out injured for a little bit. But I think it would have to be Eric Dyer to go.
Interesting. All right, Ryan, absolute pleasure having you on today. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Ryan. Cheers for coming on.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Ryan. Big up, Ryan.
All right, a few super chats to get to before we bring on our next guest. But apparently we can't bring on our next guest because Ben Davis didn't play today. But we'll.
I see. Is that how it is?
Animesh Dalai says, I asked my Arsenal fan friend for a stream to watch the Chelsea-Arsenal game, and he sent me a Pornhub link back. The Yankee Yid Show says, come on, you Spurs, great win. So how can anyone not want to sign Traore after that? Well, I don't want to sign him after that because his end product was absolutely
exactly.
shocking.
That was clear evidence of why Traore,
not to sign him.
Like, why Traore is so frustrating. He's the most frustrating player in the Premier League because he is so unreal at dribbling and out-muscling people and everything like that. But he just can't get a goal or an assist for love nor money. He just can't do it. It's just not in his repertoire. And that is a reason. I'm sorry, he's just not like, as I said, if we got a good deal on him, probably worth taking a punt on. But for a big money move, it's just not worth it because you're not going to get your value for money back, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the honest truth. That is the honest truth. But let's keep going. Let's get Ariane on now. Let's get Ariane on. We'll let you off this time, Ariane. We'll let you off this time. But how you doing, mate?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you guys?
Yeah, really good, really good. I mean, it wasn't all plain sailing today. Well, it wasn't plain sailing at all today. But how did you kind of assess the performance? And did we get away with one today?
Look, you can say we got away with them, but the only clear-cut chance they had was the Adama Traore one-on-one.
Yeah.
I think, again, you've got to praise the defending. It was good defending. Again, they had a few good long shots. I mean, it is Wolves. They actually tend to have some very decent long shots with, like, the likes of Ruben Neves and Jean Moutinho being able to, take a good one from range. I think Traore scored an absolute wonder goal against us. It was 2 seasons ago, the one I'm thinking of. But, they didn't really have any decent chances. It was just a lot of build-up play that was going well. But when they got into the box, we were crowding it too much, and they couldn't actually get anything clear, other than the dire mistake that ended up in Traore 1-on-1 and Traore obviously 1-on-1. That's exactly why you don't want to pay 40 million for a kind of player like that. It's just pace and vibes. Like he can't really do, and that's why I think. There was like a Bergwijn and Traore debate recently, and I think that proves why I think Bergwijn is just a little bit ahead. He might not have the pace, but he has a little bit more that technical ability, even, I'd say, and his shots were good today. Jose Sa had really good saves, and Bergwijn was creating a lot of chances as well. We could have scored a few more, honestly. Dele might have had a hat trick if he could have finished enough chances of Bergwijn's passes, but Jose Sa was brilliant for them today. And I think as far as clear-cut chances go, I think we had more, if I remember correctly, honestly. We had a lot of good chances, and Jose Sa made a few saves. Harry Kane, I think he missed that one chance. There was where Son and Bergwijn had 2 shots each that Sa made a double save. I mean, all around I wouldn't say we got away with one. I mean, sure, it was a close game, but it wasn't like it was a smash and grab or anything.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. But in terms of kind of Steven Bergwijn, Lucas Moura, Heung-min Son, did they attack kind of the way you wanted to see them attack today?
Only Bergwijn I really think was up to the standard. Lucas Moura, I have no idea what's up with him. Maybe he's just being overplayed. Maybe I don't know, because he was playing a lot of games. But then again, he had that rest on Thursday, so I don't know. Maybe it's that. Son apparently had some kind of small problem before the game. Nuno confirmed that, so maybe that's why he was just a little bit off. So hopefully, when we assess him, he's good to go. Maybe 1 game out max. So I'm just gonna not take a lot on that if you had a weird feeling today. But Lucas, I don't know. We know Lucas, right? He has these really, really good games. It might just be, maybe it's the fact that, maybe he needs the home fans to drive him forward a little bit more. We don't know, right? Because we do know how passionate he is about the club. So maybe the atmosphere does a lot for him, specifically as a player. So we just got to see how that turns out. It's 1 game, so I'm not going to hop on the train and say, oh my God, he's inconsistent as hell. We got to get rid of him. But he's showing signs, so hopefully he can recover quickly and break his normal habits under Nuno.
Yeah, in terms of today, in how we attacked Wolves and how we tried to, in possession, kind of our patterns of play and stuff like that. Did you see much difference yet to last season in terms of? We still played a lot of long balls. We're still relying on counter-attacks to attack. What kind of needs to change so we can get more control and more possession?
Well, counter-attacking, I think, is still going to be our general style. I mean, I think probably against Watford, hopefully, we're going to have a different style because I don't think counter-attacking Watford is going to be the most effective play style. But as far as building up play and kind of what we did when we panicked, I think it's just kind of muscle memory for the players. It's been about 2 seasons under Mourinho, and you can't expect an immediate transition. They do probably have the same patterns of panic when they get under pressure and they need to get rid of it. So they just clear it or they go for some sort of long ball. So we can't expect that to be wiped out immediately. Probably Nuno's going to work on it for a good amount of time until we get his full rhythm going at the club. So I'm not going to again read a lot. I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'm not going to read a lot of long-term play styles into this. Hopefully it's just something that the players are just transitioning from kind of the Mourinho style to Nuno style. But other than that, I mean, the attacking wasn't bad today. I mean, you saw we had some good moments when we were able to get the ball to some people who were creating, mainly Bergwijn today. Honestly, he had a lot of bright moments. That moment on the side, and then he passed it off to Kane. He had a lot of good passes. I think Reguilon also created the chance for Dele's penalty. So as far as creating chances went, we still did quite well. I'm pretty sure as expected goals, we had the same. We had 0.02 more than Wolves, even though they were attacking us relentlessly, right? So I don't think our attacking patterns were bad today.
But do you think maybe, because we've skipped Dele and Højbjerg in the centre there. It gives us a solid base, and it's very hard working, and it's very hard to play against. But do you think it offers enough on the ball when we have possession and teams are pressing us, and we need to maybe, if we want to play and build our attack, we need a player who can go play on the half turn or dictate a game? Is there enough on the ball quality in that midfield three in the long term, do you think?
I think so, because maybe even if they don't have a lot of the creativity, because of the passing range that Højbjerg and Skip offer, we have a good front four. And as long as they can connect enough passes to get it to the front four, we can have them do a lot of the playmaking work for us. And I think our front four are very creative, especially when they're firing on all cylinders. We saw it against Man City perfectly. Højbjerg and Skip were doing a great job protecting the back line, not to mention our fullbacks can get involved as well. They're doing a great job protecting the back line, and as soon as they get the ball to someone like Bergwijn or Lucas, we push up as a team immediately, and they start creating these wild chances. So I think a midfield does offer enough with the way we try to play.
And finally, Ariane, I mean, today a lot of people are comparing that to a Jose Mourinho performance, a lot like that we saw last season. Do you think that if we did play this game last season, carbon copy, would we have lost that game today?
We wouldn't have lost. We would have drawn. It literally happened last season. 1-1.
Or drop points. Drop points is what I meant.
Yeah, we 100%. It would have 100% been a 1-1 because the way we because the difference that I actually mentioned today while I was watching the game was we're defending a lot, but we're not parking the bus. Mm-hmm. That's the way. Even when we're defending a lot, even if we're on the back foot, we don't park the bus. We don't sit to defend. We defend well, but we always look for the opportunity. And I think that's going to be the key difference between a team that defends and eventually, because when you're defending the whole game, no team has a perfect defending record. We saw Dyer make the mistake today, right? But if you're parking the bus, that defense is amplified by tenfold because you're already in the back line, right? So that's why I think under Mourinho we would have drawn that game. But under Nuno, because we still look for the attacking chances and we still try and counterattack the same way, regardless, he didn't make any defensive changes today. Other than Winks in the 91st minute, which the whole bar was actually no stuff. That was quite funny. But other than Winks in the 90 whatever minute, there was no defensive changes. So the fact that we don't look to defend is that I think that's going to be the key difference between the Nuno side and the Mourinho side. And even though you said it was a final question, I wanted to answer the question you asked the last person, which was who would I partner with? Romero, and I was going to say
Ben Davis. No,
what is that, Ariane? What is that? What is that?
It's my dogs. They're
let's see.
Let's have a look. Oh, what breed is that?
Toy poodles. They're actually about a year old. This is as big as they get. They're very tiny.
Very cute,
they want to be. Cute. They want to be on chatting about Spurs. They want to give their opinion.
Yeah.
I can tell.
They're desperate.
So go on. Who would you partner?
I would do Sanchez, and the reason I do that is actually specifically that moment that Dyer had today. It perfectly outlines it for me because that is exactly what Romero's good at. Takes the ball, drives it right into the midfield, and he picks the pass. All right, that was exactly what Romero's role as a player is, and Dyer was trying to do that, and he got caught. Okay, because of that, I was literally like, this is exactly what we needed to see who would be kind of coming out. And Romero is exactly doing what Dyer made the mistake today. And Dyer's mistake almost cost us 2 points. That's the thing, right? So because of that specific moment, I think that embodies every reason why we were going to put Romero in for Dyer. Dyer tries to play Romero's role, but he doesn't have the pace, he doesn't have the quality on the ball, he doesn't have the confidence on the ball, he just isn't on the same level. And Sanchez can partner a player like that perfectly. We've seen somehow Sanchez, even though next to Dyer, he normally looks like Dumb and Dumber. This time he's looking great next to a player like that. So when we're playing in that role, Romero next to Sanchez could hopefully maybe be something that could actually work for us.
And so, are you comfortable now with looks like Dyer and Sanchez are both going to be here at the end of the window? Are you comfortable with that now?
I don't have a problem with Dyer as a backup. I never have. I don't think he's like a horrible center back. I just don't think he's a top 6 quality center back. Like if he goes to a off the top of my head mid-table club,
Wolves.
I can't. Wolves, sure. He's not too far off the level of Connor Cody, is he? Not really.
No, I think Dyer and Connor Cody are very similar, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like he's a horrible center back. It's just for the place we want to be, he's not good enough. But if Conference League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, I don't have a problem with him playing in those games. So if he stays in the cup for depth, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
All right.
Fair
Ariane, always a pleasure, my friend. And we'll see you next time. Big up.
See you
Have a
next
great time. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
A lovely, heartwarming quote here from Emmanuel Petit.
No, thank you.
No?
Come on.
Huh? Why?
I'm joking. What is it?
Watching Arsenal now, I feel nothing.
Yes, please. Carry on. I'm listening.
What do you think I was going to say? Read a nice quote from
I heard
Petit.
Emmanuel Petit, a nice quote.
It says, it does nothing for me. I have become completely desensitized. What is the plan? We have spent close to the most in the Premier League this season. I just don't understand it. Lovely. I'm enjoying that.
Inject that shit into my veins, bro. Come on. Let's get down to HFC on. Mr. Yidkid, how are you?
I'm doing great. I just came back from the pub. My first ever game at a pub, and I picked off some souvenirs, but
Lovely, Dan.
enjoyed it.
Was it good atmosphere there?
Yeah, it was a good atmosphere. But that atmosphere, it was so funny when Winks came on. Everybody in the pub was like, "Oh, come on!"
It's like we conceded a goal. That was it. Brilliant. So what did you make of the performance in general for you, Dan? Do you think we deserved the win in the end, or did we get lucky?
Well, you could say that we got lucky, but at the end of the day, there was also a few chances that we should have scored. Top of my head, there was one where Son Bergwijn had shot it straight to Patricio like 9 times in a row. We were very unlucky with that one. There was one where Bergwijn dribbled fantastically down the line, and then he tried to put it in to Harry Kane, and Harry Kane missed it. So there was a lot of chances that we could have scored as well. But yeah, Adama Traore, if he would have had shooting boots today, then I think maybe Wolves could have scored 1 or 2. But also you have to remember, if we had shooting boots for a few of our chances, we would have scored a few as well. So I think it's a matter of fact that they're lucky that we didn't score more, and we're lucky that they didn't score. So it's just football. Whatever happens, and the result that we want, it's a win, 3 points. And I'm enjoying it.
And yeah, go on.
In terms of our midfield today, Dele Alli, Oliver Skip and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I want to talk about Dele Alli because he's in a brand new role now that he looks as though he's really acclimatizing to. Do you think kind of within our squad, he's the perfect man to be in that role for us right now?
I mean, after the press conference versus City, Nuno said that he was a runner.
Yeah.
So I'm not really too sure whether he is as a box-to-box midfielder, but I'm liking it. I'm liking how Dele Alli is evolving into a new. We remember in the Amazon documentary when Jose Mourinho told him, "Is this Dele or Dele's brother?" Well, if this one is Dele's brother, then I wouldn't be too bothered about it. I like this Dele's brother.
Yeah, I agree.
True, and he's been kind of reinventing himself, hasn't he? And today was another example of that. But in terms of the performance, when we concede so much control of the game, but we hold strong and defend as well as we did, and only really concede one really clear-cut chance throughout the game, which was from Adama Traore. Do you put it? Yeah. Do you say that's a good dogged performance with a good defensive display, or do you say we kind of got dominated and we lack control and we need to improve that?
Well, obviously, when you look at a game of football, you're always going to find parts that you're going to improve. There's never going to be a perfect game. But I think mainly what we have to improve is our attack, because I thought our defense was quite strong. There was a few chances where we could have scored easily. But, you know, it's just that type of, you're happy with the 3 points, but it could have been better. And you have to look at the other result as well. Manchester United lost to Southampton. That's a big blow for them as well. So that means moving forward, that's a big team that's lost points there. Arsenal are losing points, but they're not really a big team.
Definitely not.
But yeah, I mean, defensively, we're looking way better than last season. If we would have had the defense of last season, we would have definitely conceded, and it would have definitely been 1-1. But another thing is the fans for Wolves are making a difference for them as well. I saw them a little bit, but yeah, I mean it was a good performance from the lads, and I think we could have got more, but Wolves also could have got more. So it's just a matter of if.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Before you're gonna finish that thought.
Yeah, it's just like those moments if this if that if this.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, I see what you're saying.
Well, you went, okay, got
Sorry
you.
about that. But Dan, absolute pleasure as always, my friend. Always good to speak to you, especially after 3 points. But not only after 3 points, but after 2 consecutive 3 points and 0 losses, 0 draws, and 0 goals conceded as well. So big up yourself, and we'll see you soon, my friend.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Dan.
Nuno Army, that's what I like to hear. But look, that is all the guests we have today. So we're going to leave you with Nuno's press conference. It's about 6.5 minutes long. So I just want to thank everyone for watching today. And yeah, it's always great to do these shows after a win, so I can't really complain.
It makes it a lot easier after, I'll tell you that, especially after good starts to the season. Still a lot of work in progress. I don't want to get too overexcited is my point, especially considering today that, Wolves had a lot of the game and it wasn't a resounding victory. But I think Nuno's done a very good job in a very short space of time. It shows how much good he can do or not a lot of time. So given more time, I'm sure we're going to get better and better. There's going to be bumps in the road, but we have to stay patient. We have to back the team and back the manager. I think he's going to doing a good job. So yeah, look, 2 clean sheets, 2 wins. Can't ask for any more than that, and roll on Watford. Well, Pacos first, but yeah,
definitely roll on Watford. I mean, look, you just can't complain with 2 wins from 2 games, and those 2 games being Man City and Wolves away. Like, if the 2 games we had to start the season were Watford and Crystal Palace,
and we played like that today,
I would be like, maybe we need a lot of work. And yes, we do need a lot of work, but I'm a lot more positive now going into the season with those 2 results than it would have been if our next 2 games were our first 2 games, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and if Wolves play like that, more often than not, they're going to be taking points.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure once Jimenez gets into the full swing of the season and everything like that, then Wolves are going to be much better. I think they've been unlucky first 2 games, but they've got good players, they're a good side, and we did well to get all 3 points out of them.
Yeah, 100%. All right, and we've on 52 minutes. Mikel Arteta is looking very stressed on the sidelines there. It's 2-0 to Chelsea. So yeah, we're going to leave you with Nuno's presser now. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.
Hello guys, could you raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question, please? We will start with Jim Conlon, please.
Hi Nuno, emotional day for you coming back to Wolverhampton. You were on the right side of the result. Was it sort of mixed emotions coming back to a club that's so dear to your heart?
No, in the beginning of the game, yesterday when we arrived,
it could be 4-0.
It's always special.
2 goals to Lukaku and 4-0.
4 years
really
of our lives together, a lot of memories. They will stick forever. But then the game starts and everything moves on.
And Nuno, there were so many key moments in that game, but one moment stuck out to me. A ball from Ruben Neves, putting a damn at Traore, and when you need your goalkeeper to make those important saves, Hugo Lloris stood strong, and he made some crucial saves there for you tonight. I suppose that's the backing having a world-class keeper, which Hugo is.
Yes, 300 appearances for a club is not in reach of many, and Hugo is a fantastic professional. Very good goalkeeper. He has to do his job just like that. And he has to keep on going.
Cheers. Thanks, Nuno.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, Alistair Gold, please.
Congratulations, Nuno. Can I just ask you, sorry, just slightly off the pitch, just saw Sonny walking a bit gingerly after the game. Is he all right?
I'm sorry, I cannot answer that. But for now, he's all right. He had in the warm-up, he had a strange feeling, but he was okay to play. Was not, I don't know. Let's assess him now. I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
It's all right. That's all right. Can I just ask you about Dele Alli today? I know you don't like to pick out individuals, but obviously got the goal today from the spot. But he really seems to be adapting to that deeper role you've got him in now.
Yeah, he's working very hard. I think all the team worked very hard, and we have still a long way and a lot of things to improve in terms of relationship between players, being versatile enough to do. And Dele did a very good job. He worked very hard. He scored in the beginning of the game, and in the last minutes of the game, he was running all over the pitch. So that shows the level of fitness that he has and the belief that he has. And huge help. All the team worked very hard. You know that was not the best of our games. You cannot, but when you cannot play as good as you want, you do your tasks well. And the boys did amazing.
Just last one for me. Christian Romero obviously missed out today. Is he okay? Will he be back soon?
Yeah, hopefully. When we finished the game in Passos, it was okay. But yesterday in the training session, didn't feel totally comfortable. So we decided not to bring him. He's doing treatment now, and I think he's going to be better soon.
Thanks, Nuno.
Madueke scored again today.
Jonathan Veal, please.
I Nuno. Just what you thought of Harry Kane's performance when he came on.
We forgot to mention
Sorry?
300th performance.
And I just ask you if your thoughts on Harry Kane's performance when he came on.
He's broken a record now.
He did well. He helped the team. He had a good chance. Harry is still on the process of increasing and improving his level of fitness. He's one of the best players in the world. You can see the way he helped the team in terms of possession, to find lines. So we need everybody, Jonathan. We need everybody.
You think Harry might be involved on Thursday night with a chance for him to get a bit more fitness, and obviously you need to turn around that tie around.
Sorry, Jonathan. With this, it's very hard for me to try sometimes understand you. Can you repeat?
Yeah, I was just asking whether he might be involved on Thursday night.
If he's going to be involved on Thursday night?
Yes.
I cannot answer you that. It's too soon. Now we're gonna recover, and we're gonna prepare the next one, and like always do the same way. Make the decisions that we take, but now I cannot answer. I'm sorry.
Just last one from me. What did you make of the Dharma Traore's performance? Obviously, it caused a lot of problems in the first half.
I think Wolves has a very good team and created enormous problems, big problems. One of those was Adama. Everybody knows Adama is unique. So it's very hard to stop.
300 subs from that.
Thanks, Jonathan. And Graham Bryce, please.
Maybe you're right.
Hi, Nuno.
350.
Could you just tell me what you thought of the reaction? Were you pleased to see the Wolves fans rise to Harry at the end when he went over and applauded them?
Of course. I think you have to be together. And,
they can hear us.
I understand many of the things, but
they can hear us.
Yes.
We are Tottenham Hotspurs. Everybody wants to be good. I was pleased with the attitude of our fans. We have amazing fans, and we have to be very thankful for it.
Your old fans, Wolves, gave a bit of a hard time to Harry today. How did you think he handled that?
It's not me to answer that. I'm only worried about us. It's all about us. Us, always the team, fans, the work that we have ahead of us. This is my focus. Sorry.
And just finally from me, how far do you think Harry is away from full fitness and being match ready completely?
It's better today. Improving. You cannot put a bar on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks everyone for your time. Thank you.